because then I'm gonna get myself banned. Let me see. Lame video game box art.
Don't act like we weren't all
Everybody gangster till retro puts Ultra Ego into D tier because of monkey eyebrows.
Yo, for real, bro. I might do some shit like that. For real. Yo, thank you, Owl, for the biddies. I appreciate you, baby. Yo, he's talking about lame video game box art. I was one of those kids that I used to hate when I saw lame video game box art. But then sometimes what video game developers used to do is make cool video game box art, and the video game is nothing like how the box art looks. So they used to debate me. That's why you had to be careful with getting certain games, because they will lie to you. They'd be like, look at this fire-ass box art. You get the game, and you're like, oh, this shit ass. What the fuck am I playing, bro?
thinking it. Video game box art that just irks me. Okay? I mean, like...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This video game box art right here is like the most basic-ass, zero influence, zero inspired. They put their 3D models just put them standing. Oh, put the motherfuckers like that. Like, bro, soulless.
Let's be honest here. This one is lame as hell. The Super Mario RPG remake on Nintendo Switch. Now, let's not act like we don't know why it looks like this, all right? This is a recreation of the original.
I guess, but it's like... Okay, I guess.
Super Famicom art. In fact, the Mario RPG remake...
Have I played it? Nah, I haven't played this shit. I never played this game.
It's pretty much like...
I ain't gonna lie though, I feel like I'll be a beast at this game, because usually like Mario RPG games, I like get a little crazy.
It's retaining all the Japanese fixins. You know, the North American title was Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, and they got rid of the subtitle for the remake. And then, of course, the box art. It's just all the characters.
You said Paper Mario 64 box art is goated.
White background.
It's goated.
And that's the thing. I can respect how faithful it is. You know, this is a Super Nintendo game through and through. I think that's like one of its greatest benefits and probably also its biggest downfalls, this remake. The fact that it very much is the Super Nintendo game just with a sleek coat of paint. If you wanted that, amazing. If you wanted something a little more modern, this probably ain't gonna do that. But to be fair, I mean, you look at this box art, are you really expecting anything modern? I would have liked like maybe like a light pattern in the background here.
Like a little
Mario
splash,
3D
but I
Land
guess
and
they
Mario
wanted
3D World box arts, like they have kind of like
they wanted to put homage to the
circular
original
pattern in the background where that background is also like completely white, but you know, you have these light little gray circles in the background. You know, that's something going on there. Whereas Mario RPG here, it's just all white.
No, but then, you know, but here's the thing though, because you already know if they did put something in the background, the die-hard Mario RPG fans would have bitched about it. Why does the box art have a background? Like, you already know. So it's one of those things where it's like, I understand why they did it this way, because they were gonna bitch regard. They would have bitched. You would have found that one person on Twitter bitching about that. Why is Nintendo trying to change our childhood? Like you already know, bro.
I just think there's something
you
that
already
just looks
know
unnatural about the remake's box art. It looks genuinely unfinished. For some reason, this doesn't feel as empty.
No one will complain, nah, Sora. Someone will always complain, bro.
So, yeah, like, I expect it to look a little blander than modern box arts. But the fact that the characters are all lined up here, it doesn't feel like there's empty space. It feels right. This, on the other hand, I'm just not a big fan of it. This feels like temporary box art, you know, the box art that is on the game on Amazon right when the game gets announced.
Yeah, that's
a year
true.
Later, when the game is finally coming out, they actually update it with the finalized box art. Yeah, that's what this feels like. And while we're on the topic of Nintendo Switch game box arts that look unfinished,
you said make a new original box art with reversible cover.
Mario
That would have been
and
cool.
Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. It's really strange because most of the Mario
But you
and
know
Sonic
Nintendo's
box
gonna be
arts
like,
are
nah, that's
actually,
gonna cost
really
extra
damn
money.
good, especially the Rio 2016 ones. These go so damn crazy.
Yeah, they do. Cause look at them. Like, you got Sonic with like an angry expression, and Mario, like, they look like they really trying to go up against each other. Like, you see it, like, you feel the rivalry through the fucking pictures. Like, Sonic, like, you could even do voiceovers. Like, nah, you're not gonna pass me. I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna beat your shit. Oh, hey, you better move out the way, because I'm going to win the Olympics of 2016 Rio. You motherfucker, I swear it to you.
Like, look at these things.
You
And the
feel
other
it.
ones aren't too bad either. I do think, maybe the original one is a little bland.
You see, that one is boring. Like, I'm hopping too. The other ones look better, bro. Like, they looking at each other. They're like, nah, bitch. You see me, bitch. We're about to fight.
But, it's Mario and Sonic running towards the camera. And it was the first of its kind.
Because they
so I
looking
think,
at each other,
it did
bro.
what it had
It's
to do.
serious.
And then maybe the Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games.
You see, nah, this shit trash. They too friendly. They don't look like they competing. Come on, let's have a fun time. No, bitch. These other two boxers are, come on, I'm gonna win. Like, where is the sense of rivalry? Where is the sense of competition? The sense of I'm better than you. That's what we gotta see, bro. This shit look like they're fucking friends about to freaking do some shit.
3DS. That one's not bad. It's just a little bland. It kind of just looks like key art for the game, like promotional art that you'd see as like a banner on the website.
Yeah, 2016
rather than
Rio,
the
they kind of
actual
cooked.
box art.
They
But for the
cooked with
most part,
these.
I would say this series has great box art. What the hell happened? Even the renders themselves.
Ass. We're both winners. We didn't have to do shit, or we both got the participation trophies. Ass. Fucking ass, bro. And then the background looked lifeless as shit. Nah,
Look
ass.
cheap as hell. Like, Mario looks like a little cheaper than he does on the Rio 2016 box. And Sonic here, I swear.
What I don't like about this shit too is just it's giving everyone's a winner. No, cut that shit out. Winners win, losers lose. Everyone's a winner, head ass box art. Fuck that.
I swear we've had this pose before.
Hate that.
I swear we've seen this exact like model of Sonic. They just kind of edited his hands a little bit and gave him a medal. I'm not saying that for a fact, or it could be a fact. I don't know. What I'm trying to get at here is this is a very generic Sonic the
Yeah,
Hedgehog
boring.
pose. And then the stadium is just completely empty.
Yeah, it
Like,
looks dead.
There's nothing going on here. This is like the most temporary looking box art I've ever seen in my life that like actually made it through and is like the final box art. Like this looks unfinished. It's definitely the bare minimum. Like it's not like it doesn't work, it gives you what you need for a Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games box art. But still, like that shouldn't give it a passing grade. That's a participation award at best. And I don't even
You know what would have been a fire box art that could have changed this shit? They should have put a trophy in the middle, kind of like slanted. Then they should have had Mario on one side hitting one of these, like this, and then Sonic hitting one of these. Tell me not! That shit would be gas! Bro, put a trophy in the middle, Mario like this, Sonic like this. And they're like reaching for the shit, and then it kind of feels like, oh, they both going at it, trying to get the trophy. Come on, man, this shit boring.
even know if they worked hard enough to get that award here. Just a box art that just kind of bugs me with how bland
Fall
it is.
Guys
I
ass
have no
box.
idea why it's so bland, especially considering all the other games in the franchise have such dynamic box arts. Like, how is this the previous entry here? Like, how? Look at how crazy
That's what I'm
this
saying,
looks.
bro.
How-
They look mad serious.
especially the 3DS.
The 3DS one look tough, bro. Look at Tails. Tails is over here sliding, trying to make sure he don't miss the volleyball. My man Knuckles is throwing the javelin. Amy even in there with the hula hoops. Donkey Kong, OG Donkey Kong render. Woo-hoo. My man got the retractable teeth. Luigi even look angry. You're not going to beat me at ping pong. Look at him, man. Serious. Princess Peach diving in the water. Whoo!
Best version, like Mario's fucking pissed. But hey, maybe I have to cool down a little bit here. Let's go for something a little more basic, a little
That
simpler.
looks great.
Fuck this. Marvel
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man on PS4.
I can't lie. That is a very generic box art. The Spider-Man PS4, very generic, very basic. I ain't gonna lie though, the game was fire, but it's a very generic box art.
Once again, like most of these box arts I want to talk about, they aren't bad, but I'm just like, God damn. And it sucks because like this form.
Because it's basic. Like they literally just took a render, put the shit in, then they put a freaking backdrop with red, and then they put like this effect of just like, I know what effect that is too. I just forgot it off the top of my head, where they put like this black kind of like it's so simple, bro. They probably took like 5 minutes to make this box art.
Matt has continued throughout
So
this whole
simple.
Marvel's Spider-Man series, so it's just like, you know they're sticking with it for the rest of eternity. And I think there's something to say about the simplicity here. Like, it's the fact that they don't have to really show off
Yeah.
any majorly unique things on the box art. It's kind of giving off the vibe that, like, these are the definitive Spider-Man experiences in video games. You don't need to show anything fancy, it shows confidence. It's like, this is Spider-Man,
Circle grade.
bitch. But I feel like it just does a huge disservice to the game. I mean, like, these games are all about their giant open world New York cities to explore.
True.
So it's just like, why wouldn't you put Spider-Man on a background showcasing the cities?
Yeah, like Manhattan or some
I mean,
shit.
you don't have to. I don't mind it. I'm just kind of like, these box arts make me feel
You said,
nothing.
oh, it's the game that got
It's just
snubbed by
the
Baldur's
same
Gate.
shit.
They were like, yes,
Especially
the
now with
bear,
Spider-Man
the
2.
bear,
I mean, we're
the
back to
bear,
the exact
the
same
bear,
background color
the
as the first
bear.
game. And you can play as Miles Morales in this game, so why isn't it like a mixture of like red and black? And at the end of the day, they're all pretty much just the same thing. It's just, yeah, they're jumping in the air. They're doing something a little different. You know, they're using a different power, maybe. I'm like, who the hell cares? Once again, it's not like these are bad box arts, but just like, I'm just so bored of these. Like, I just don't give a damn about what's going on here. Unlike all of the modern Fallout boxes, which are just, they're always the same thing. Look at this, then Fallout 4, then Fallout 76. It's just like they're zooming in, they're rotating the helmet. That's it.
Yup.
That's all they're doing. At least with the Spider-Man box arts, they're doing different poses. I mean, like this one,
They're
they
just
just
like,
keep
here's a
zooming
helmet
in.
in this
But
angle,
here's an
and here's a
interesting
helmet
one.
in
So I don't
this
actually
angle.
have a physical version of this game.
I think this one kind of cool. Halo is like it's like basic Master Chief looking at you, but you see the background, you see the Warthog, you see those, I forgot them shits, what they were called in the air, bro. The freaking, they always left like mad freaking shit. Like, you see the soldiers, it was cool.
But I'm talking about Halo Infinite. So Halo Infinite's box art is a direct recreation / callback to Halo Combat Evolved on the Xbox. You know, Master Chief is doing the same pose, and you know, you're kind of in, you know, a similar looking area. It's definitely pretty cool, but I don't like it for a very specific reason. The temp box art, I feel, was way better.
What's the
Well,
temp box
Master
art?
Chief, like, back facing the camera, looking back a little bit. I like that box art way more.
It looks cool.
And it's just like, I just feel like Halo Infinite, that gives Halo Infinite's box art a lot more of its own energy, a lot more of its own style, character, all of that. Instead, they just go for an exact recreation of Halo 1's box art, which is like cute, but like, I don't know. You know, like I like what they had going on before with the temporary box art. With what they have now, I'm like, I don't dislike this, but like, you know, what could have been, you know? But hey, let's move back to Sonic for a second. I want to talk about Sonic Generations.
Sonic Generations, I like this box art, but I feel like I didn't like the little cutaway shit where it's kind of like they just left it white. I feel like they could have like, I mean, because I know like certain parts of the game are like that, where it's kind of like it's a white environment in the background, so you kind of had to put that in there. But I kind of wish like they show more of the background world. But I mean, that's just a nitpick.
And not
I think
this
it's cool,
version
though.
of Sonic Generations. This version, the 3DS.
Oh, this should look tough. Yeah, you see, like they got the blue instead of white, because white is just it's like too basic and boring. But they got the blue. Then they got the environment. They got them in different poses, bro. They got Sonic hitting the fucking, Then they got freaking this little guy over here on some why I oughta ass pose. This is cool. The DS one's is looking fire.
This one, the one that like nobody played. I mean, like some people played, but like, you know, come the hell on. I almost feel like the only people that actually played the 3DS version of Sonic Generations are the YouTubers making videos about it. This isn't like a bad game, just a completely disposable and unnecessary one. Like, I don't understand why they felt the need to put Sonic Generations on the 3DS. Because they didn't put Sonic Generations on the 3DS. This is basically its own unique game and a very cheap kind of cash-in. You know, pretty much put a companion title for Sonic Generations on the 3DS. And, you know, it does the job in some regards, but it's just a whole bunch of missed opportunities. But it's okay. I'd give it like a 6.5 out of 10, maybe a 7. But I'd give the box art a 2. Listen, I love like the Sonic Generations style. You know, just the whole anniversary celebration look. The fact, you know, it has all the stars and all these icons, and the fact that, like, oh man, you know, like the whole world's white, and then we got to bring color to it. And, you know, we see Green Hill back here, and, you know, modern Sonic and classic Sonic running towards the camera. This is a good box art. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite or anything, but, you know, I like this. I don't know why they did this for the 3DS one. I guess they wanted to make sure you knew this was not the exact same game. Instead, you know, like it's its own own version of Sonic Generations. But like, this is the thing. You know, Sonic Generations on 3DS always feels very cheap. It feels like a very budget cash-in to put a game called Sonic Generations on the 3DS. They didn't have a lot of time, they didn't have a lot of money, but they did it. So instead of actually creating like brand new key art for the 3DS version, instead they just kind of put two PNGs on top of the same background from the 361. Like that's the same like thing in the back there. But yeah, I mean, like it's literally just like it's just two PNGs. These are just like two of the basic promotional key arts for Sonic Generations. They just smack them on here. They put like a white glow around it. That's it. It looks like a scrapbook. This looks like you just put two stickers on something. You know, to be fair, hey, it's an anniversary title. You're going back, looking back at memories, scrapbooks, you know? But I don't really think that's what they were going for. I think they just kind of, you know, just slapped this together. Just lame as hell, man.
They were just like, put it on.
What are you doing? This initially may seem a little weird to be talking about Ocarina of Time.
How dare you? You better not talk bad about this box art because, yo, I don't know what it is. Okay, it might be nostalgia talking, but ain't no way you're going to talk back. This box art is tough. This shit is iconic. This is iconic. You cannot talk. Look, okay, look, I know it's basic, but it's still iconic, bro. Look, I don't care. I know it's like a brown background, brown, gold, but it's like you don't have to say much, bro. Master Sword, Hylian Shield, Zelda, bro. It might be nostalgia talking, but I fuck with it.
In terms of like game box arts that irk me, to be fair, I think if like you really love this box art, more power to you, but I will ask why. And I do kind of ask that in the sense of like, not necessarily if you love the game or not, but like, let's talk about the box art on its own. You know, like what about this box art so great? Because I think it's a stretch to call it art. Like, there's nothing here. But that's not why I dislike
this. But it's kind of like a title to a movie, right? It's like, you don't even need to put that much shit in it. Just Zelda, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. That's it. That's all you need.
It's not even that I dislike it. It just kind of irks me. It's the fact that, like, Nintendo used, like, the exact same box art for, like, 3 Zelda games in a row. Like, you have Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, and Ocarina of Time. And hey, if you want to count, like, Link's Awakening
it's one of those things where it's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's how good the Zelda games were, though. So it's kind of like, damn, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And people already knew because it was, like, such an iconic box art that the second somebody could see it from a distance, they'd be like, is that Legend of Zelda? You already know what it is by just looking at it.
Yeah, go for it. It makes my argument even more valid. And they, like, no shame, just reused the Link to the Past box art for Link's Awakening. Like, it's the exact same one. Like, copy and paste. At least here, you know, it's a 3D Zelda logo, so, you know, you have that going for it. And the gold here is a bit different. But, I mean, at that point, I'm splitting hairs. I think what makes this lamer is the fact that, like, yeah, you see these extra little, like, additions. The fact that, like, oh, yeah, it's 3D. Oh, yeah, you did this. But, like, you don't go all the way. You don't actually give us, like, a brand new box art. It's still just the same damn thing. And it's unfortunate because in Japan, like, they gave these games actual box.
That's dope. I'm not gonna lie. That's dope.
Box arts. In North America, that's where it was like, nope, they're just bland-ass gold boxes. I love the fact that Zelda keeps with, like, the gold tradition, but, you know, like, when you're replacing, like, actual art that is actually telling you something about the game, like, I'm like, come on, man. I guess it kind of kept with this idea that, like, Zelda is about your adventure and just being, like, this mysterious gold packaging. I think just kind of showed how confident they were with the fact that this is Zelda. This is, like, the grand video game that, like, is your own big adventure. The fact that it's so blank, it shows, like, hey, make this adventure what you will. This is your thing. This is all coming straight out of my ass. Much like any modern EA Sports cover. They're just screenshots now. Like, anytime I see, like, a Madden game in the store, like, what is this? This is nothing. This is absolutely nothing. And the fact that the logo, I'm pretty sure this is Impact font. At least back in, like, the 2010s or, like, 2000s, like, they actually had to doctor those box arts, you know, make them look a little interesting. And now they're just pulling these pictures off of Google Images. Super Mario 64 DS. There's just something about...
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Okay, look. I could agree the background is bland as shit. It is bland as shit. Man, this game was a banger though, man. You cannot shit on this. Especially the DS minigames. I was in those minigame rooms for hours. And I went out my ass to collect all the bunnies with each individual character so I can unlock all the mini games in the rooms, bro. This shit is fire. Oh, man. I love this box art. It's kind of reminiscent to the 64 one, because the one in Mario 64, like OG, Mario just flying with the cap and the background is just blue, and I think he's in like that one world. Like I hope he shows it.
This box art that feels off to me. It doesn't really feel like this is Mario 64. Like when I look at this box art, I'm not going like if you don't show me the logo, I'm not gonna think, oh damn, a remake of Mario 64. But probably what I just don't really care for on this box art is how it really gives off that kind of like pissed off badass Mario vibe that like the early to late 2000s wanted to give off. You know, those like images of Mario where he looks a little pissed off.
I love that, bro. That was my favorite era of Mario. Now they got Mario cheesing everywhere. Like, I'm a good guy. I'm like, no, bro, have Mario looking pissed. I love pissed off Mario. And anyway, all the pissed off Mario renders are the best ones. It's the ones where, like, he doing the Dance Dance Revolution one where he got, like, his legs open and shit. And he doing all these types of... Man...
think those are a little lame as hell. They feel a little try-hard. You know, it's kind of like from that era where Mario got a tribal tattoo. Now, there's just something that's like weirdly uncanny about this. Like the realistic clouds, the fact that like there's this zoom blur over the whole thing, which implies like they're literally going too fast. I just don't really feel like this is a great representation of the game. Like this doesn't really make me think I'm gonna play the game that I'm actually gonna play with Mario 64 DS. I mean, like it's fine, it does the job, but it really does feel like this is kind of like advertising the multiplayer focus of Mario 64 DS, which isn't like a huge thing in this game. I love this game. You know, it has a lot of problems, but you know, I played this to death as a kid. But I kind of had to see that this was a thing. Like, I remember somebody playing it on the school bus, and I was like, oh, wow, that's a thing? I can play...
Son, chat. I used to play this game so much, and I know you guys must have done it too. Remember the Love Me Not minigame with the Yoshi flower petals? I used to legit be like, yo, I like this girl. Does she love me or love me not? And I used to do it, bro. I used to pull the flower petals, bro. I used to be like, love me. Love me not. Yo, and the second it said love me not, I closed the shit and heard Mario say bye-bye. And then I'll be like, nah, reboot that shit up, man. Do that shit again until it said love me. And I'm like, I bet. Yeah, she does love me.
Mario 64 on my DS, and I had to specifically seek it out. You know, I feel like I didn't really like notice this game on the shelf beforehand, but you know, lo and behold, it was there, and I finally picked it up. But not thanks to this box art. It's not bad. I just
Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
I
hope he shows it. I already know how the 3-on-3 hoop won.
Have you ever seen like all the concepts they had for this box art? You know, because like Borderlands and Borderlands 2, you kind of had like a continuation of the whole thing where you know, the guy is like shooting himself in the head, and you know, in the second one, you know, he has both
Hoops
hands
3-on-3 was fire. I used to play that as a kid.
They had a lot of concepts as to like what they should do, and I do like the concept where his foot is shooting a third hole in his head. I really like that. You know, they just kind of go for a different vibe here because, you know, eventually, you know, with Borderlands 4 and 5 and 6, like what else?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. What was the last good Borderlands game, chat? I feel like they should have just ended off in 2, but then they wanted to keep on going. Then they were like 3, 4, 5. At that point, I'm like, bro, you're beating a dead horse. You should have just left it at 2.
Also, you're gonna do. But I think it's kind of fun to think about different ways to go about that same style, and I like that they kind of thought about it. You know, I'm fine with this box art. It looks fine, but I'm mainly putting it here because I really like the concepts that they had for the Borderlands 3 box art, and sometimes I do kind of wish they went with others that maybe were a continuation of Borderlands 1
they
and
do
2
look
box
good.
Art. And this one just looks a little goofy to me. The Injustice Gods Among Us box art. You know, you just have the the Joker right there. And, you know, Batman versus Superman. But that doesn't even seem like it's like a big focus
about to
on this
show
box
up
art.
somewhere
This box
now.
art's just always kind of giving me an
feel
off
it, bro.
vibe. I'm not
Every
really
time
sure
I see
why.
Batman or
But then I saw
Superman,
the Japanese box art, and that's
it's
why
like
I put that here.
the
You see
tainted
Japanese box art for this?
senses
Look
just
at that
start-
thing. That looks cool. Which isn't to say any of the box arts I talked about here weren't cool in of themselves. I just kind of wanted to pull a couple box arts off the shelf and just talk about ones that I thought were a little funky. You know, ones that I'm kind of like, man, you know, I kind of wish they would do something a little differently, or maybe like, you know, this is a little off. I'm not sure about this one. And you know, maybe we'll talk about.
I'll summon him. No, Dylan,
you know, what
Dylan, you summon him. I time your ass out.
Some box arts are a little strange, and tell me why it isn't Snoo 2 on vacation for the Nintendo DS.
W video.